Yo, what is up, everybody? We are back after the knockout stage has started. Canada and South Africa played today. We have we had some crazy matches there at the end of the group stage. It was nuts. Um, got some of our research up here that I did. Our bracket that we were guessing on. Uh, Marked down all the greens where we were correct on our predictions of who would make it through. So there's a lot more green than red, but there's some reds that were, if you look at the bottom of my groups, guys that I did not think were going to make it, guys that I thought were, uh, totally flopped. So definitely some surprises. It's been a total movie. I gotta say that for sure. So going over it real quick, we had Mexico, South Africa make it through. I don't know what happened with South Korea, but I expected South Africa to finish last. They did not start strong. They had a pretty rough go of it, but in the end, they pulled it out and they got through. And then immediately lost in their match today, and they're out. So uh, all is set right except for San's still going home, so that sucks. Switzerland, Canada, Bosnia, and Herzegovina. They're all through. We picked those three to make it through, so there we are. Um, Brazil and Morocco picked them to go through. They're flopped from the places I had them in, but still top two made it through. USA, Australia, and Paraguay. This one I did not see. I did not see this happening. I did not think Australia was going to make it there. They took the spot that I had Turkey in. Um, Turkey going home. So there that goes. Germany. Oh, if you guys didn't see, Turkey ended up beating us after our last little stream where we were talking about watching that match in like 5 minutes or something when I ended the stream. They ended up beating us. That was actually a great match. It wasn't enough to get them through though, because it ended up being a tie between Australia and Paraguay, which gave them 1 point, which allowed them to be ahead of Turkey. Um, Germany, Cote d'Ivoire, and Ecuador, all ones that we picked to go through. No surprises there. Curacao, small country, had a rough go of it as well. Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, also teams that we picked to go through. It's good. Belgium, Egypt, picked to go through. Spain and Cabo Verde. Cabo Verde, who managed to pull a draw on Spain, were able to make it through. Uruguay out of the World Cup. Surprising. And Uruguay, they had like a private jet set to take them back to their country, and that got canceled. They all got to fly like, I don't know, regular, like coach or something. I don't know, sitting next to people that are like, man, I can't believe you lost that match. I'm not sure what that's about, but they got some good players. Sucks to see them going home, but pretty cool to see Cabo Verde in still. France, Norway, Senegal, also teams that we picked. Argentina, Austria, Algeria, all teams that we picked. Actually, in that order as well. Colombia, Portugal, Congo, not teams that we picked in that order. Portugal ended up finishing second in the group, so we will not get to see that Messi Ronaldo matchup that we thought we were going to see, unless by some miracle both teams make it to the final. We are not going to see them face each other. We probably will not see Messi play Ronaldo ever again. But that does suck right there. But the cards lie where they lie. Let's see. England, Croatia, and Ghana. Ghana made it through. Good team. They ended up beating England. Panama. I did not think that they would get knocked out that easy. They were in like the Gold Cup final up here in the Americas not very long ago. Um, but they got knocked out. Croatia ended up second. I had them third, but they still made it through. Nothing against Ghana. They got good players. I just thought that the other three teams would have enough pedigree to keep them in. So those teams made it through. Obviously, my bracket that I made is going to be very wrong, so I'm gonna have to make another bracket this week somehow. But this is what the bracket looks like currently. Germany versus Paraguay. That is tomorrow. France versus Sweden. We already see Canada moved ahead. They scored in like the last 2 minutes of the game. It was crazy. It was freaking 0-0 the whole time. Canada scores in the last couple minutes. We will also tomorrow get to see who Canada is going to face between Netherlands and Morocco. I would say those teams are of equal skill, more or less. And I would say that Canada is not of equal skill of those teams. So we'll see what happens there. Portugal and Croatia. The way Portugal's been playing, I think those two teams are pretty equal skill too. I think Croatia could probably take them. I think that ends Portugal's run, and that ends Ronaldo's history in the World Cup books. And Spain and Austria, I think Spain's going to take that. It would be a tremendous upset if Austria took that game. USA and Bosnia, I think we got a pretty good shot. We show out the way that we have been. Hopefully, whatever happened with Turkey doesn't rear its ugly head at us again. And Belgium and Senegal be playing, and I that one I don't know. I think Senegal they weren't quite as good. I think Belgium has some skill. Senegal is another one of those African countries that is a very good country. That I think they won Africa Cup of Nations this year. We'll see what happens there. But I do think we're gonna be in for some surprises here. I have the other side somehow. Can't see it. There is no way to deal with it. Let's see. Oof, getting small. But here. Okay. A little bit smaller there, but we got on the other side Brazil, Japan. That will also be tomorrow. I think Japan has skill, but I think Brazil, their history, their pedigree, the coach, the top tier talent that they have, I think Brazil should be taking that match. Ivory Coast and Norway. I really hoping Norway takes that on Tuesday. Mexico and Ecuador. Mexico, I hope Mexico takes that game. Like to see them go a little bit further as one of the host nations there. England and DOD, that's Congo. I think England takes that, but England's already been taken down by one of the African countries that's of equal size. Maybe talent a little bit better on that other team, but Congo can certainly beat them if England doesn't play to the level that we expect them to. Argentina and Cabo Verde. That is a match. I don't think Cabo Verde takes on Argentina the same way that they did with Spain. Two different play styles. I obviously want to see Argentina go further. They are my pick. Can't even wish I could manipulate this at all, but it's the standings page. So Argentina probably moves forward. Austria and Egypt, or Australia, sorry. Um, Australia and Egypt seem like they're playing at equal levels. I don't know. Like to see Egypt go on that one. Um, got a couple players on those teams that I like. And then Switzerland and Algeria. Switzerland needs to take that. I think that's probably going to happen. And Colombia and Ghana. Yeah, I think Ghana takes it. I think Ghana takes it. I mean, they beat England. They should be able to beat Colombia, I think. Um, not sure. Wish I could see these things like side by side where they finished and stuff, but that is going to be interesting. We will see. We'll meet you guys after the knockout stages is over. I'll make another video. Looks like not the entire knockout stages. I'm sorry. As soon as round of 32 is over, getting late. Sorry guys. Those the second round, the round of 16 starts on July 4th, so that'll be Saturday. And there's probably going to be some crazy matches there. Germany versus France. Yeah, few things going on there. That'll probably be Canada versus Netherlands. We'll see. We'll see if on the weekend I'm talking to you guys about some crazy upsets. I'll try to make a video before 4th of July festivities, maybe sometime in the morning or something. Should be fun to see. I don't know that we had any crazy news stories come out. It's been a quiet day, quiet couple days, I guess. After those matches ended, it was kind of like, people talking about what they expect next, which is what we're doing here. South Korea coach quit. Makes sense. Carlo Ancelotti with Brazil refuses to engage in Japan mind games. I don't know what they're doing to him, but shouldn't ever engage in any of that stuff. Stay focused, stay locked in, right? Canadians doing well. There's a little bit of news about that because they obviously won and made it to the next round. Yeah, the Messi Ronaldo showdown looks unlikely. They basically were saying, hey, we got cheated out of a final Messi Ronaldo showdown, but like I said, they've got to make it to the end now to face each other, and that's gonna be tough. Yeah. Power rankings, who's up and who's down. So if you guys want to see any of this stuff, hop over to ESPN. They've got plenty of news stories on all this stuff. I'm not gonna jump into them, but got some things coming. 3 matches on Monday there: Brazil versus Japan, Germany versus Paraguay, and Netherlands versus Morocco. All worthy watches. This one looks like it's supposed to be very early. This is 10 a.m. Mountain Time. What was that? 9 a.m. Pacific? That's an early game, guys. I wonder if that's because of where the countries are. I don't know. It'd be like noon or something in Brazil, I think. Maybe 1 o'clock. And then Japan. God, who knows what time it is there. Probably trying to get it before they go to bed. Maybe that's why that match is scheduled so early. I'm sure. But three matches tomorrow, so we will see. 20 years later, Japan are more than ready for their World Cup rematch with Brazil. So I'm guessing Japan lost 20 years ago. Yan Diamandes doing some stuff there. U.S. Academy. I don't know what academy he was in. I believe he now plays over in Germany. Oh, let's check out the stats real quick. That was one thing came up. Messi sitting at 6 goals. Kylian, Vinny, Dembele. Actually, Dembele scored some goals with with Mbappe sitting out. So he's actually tied up here at the top with these other guys. Holland, Dembele, Vinny Jr., Mbappe, all tied at 4. Messi came in, sat out. He was sat out for the first half, and he actually chose to sit out. It was the first time he's ever sat out in a World Cup match on the bench since 2006, which is when he started in the World Cup. I think he sat out for 2 games there, and this is his first time ever sitting. He got subbed in obviously at the end, ended up scoring, sitting at 6 goals. I mean, we're looking at Golden Boot Messi maybe if he keeps going. Any number of these teams up at the top can keep going, though. A lot of times you'll see in these World Cups and stuff that the top scorer was somebody that got knocked out in the group stage or in the round of 32 or 16 or something. Someone that got knocked out fairly early and missed another couple games, but they still scored a lot of goals up front because they went against like a weaker team. A couple teams did get smashed, but I don't think the same players were scoring all the goals in those. But that knocks Harry Kane down to 3rd. He didn't score. A bunch of these guys not super familiar with. Mateus Cunha. You know, any one of these guys down here can probably reach that easily. One of these dudes down here could get a hat trick and be in 2nd. Hat tricks are kind of hard to get, but they can get there. Jude Bellingham, Ronaldo had scored 2 in one of his matches. But like I said, I think we're gonna see these top 5 guys probably go the distance and probably hold that. But you do have this guy here with Congo. I mean, sitting in 3rd and Congo's still in their matches against 2. Let me say Congo, they're against England, so somebody's got to score there, right? Anyway, that's kind of where we're at. I don't think there's any other notable stats that we need to see here. Red cards, yellow cards. Who's at the top of the yellows? Curacao out, Haiti out, Paraguay still in with 7 yellow cards. Egypt 6. See, these are all like bottom to mid-tier teams, so USA with 5. What about reds? Qatar, South Africa with 2 reds. Iraq, Belgium, 3 reds there. So, okay, well, that's all I got, guys. I'm gonna head to bed. Hope to see you guys on the weekend for the next video to see where we land, see if any new drama starts, and if we have any like major Twitter posts or something, I'll try to lock those up. If they happen too early, I'm not gonna rehash them 5 days later. But if we have anything big, around Saturday, I will bring it up. Thanks, guys. Thanks for stopping in. Always fun. Hope you guys are enjoying the World Cup. We will catch you later.